Today I am setting up my spring floral palette. So welcome back to my channel, everybody. And if you like this content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the like button to help my channel get seen to other people that might like this content. So this is my spring self-curated palette, floral palette that I'm putting together. I've been testing these colors and I am going to be filling these colors into this palette that I got from local art store. It's a Jerry's Artarama, kind of a sister company. I think that I can find these on Amazon. So if so, I'll link them below so you can find it easy in the description. Also, all these Daniel Smith paints I'll link on Amazon, and I'm gonna try to get a page together to where you can link and go and find everything all at once. I'm working on that. So here also is a graphic that I am working on to put onto mugs, an art apron, and some t-shirts. So if you're interested in that, I'll link that below. I've got that set up. It's on spreadshop.com. It is a cute graphic that I designed for some merch. So you can keep that in mind if you're interested, and no big deal if you're not. So I'm just doing it for myself. So I'm gonna put that aside. We're going to get started. I have started with Hansa Yellow Medium, and I'm gonna kind of get these back. I've got just a cheap brush here in case any of the colors kind of explode on me as I open the caps, and so I can get them out. I've got some water and I've got a paper towel here to fill my palette. So okay, let's start. Like I said, I did this Hansa Yellow Medium yesterday and it's still soft. It's going to need several days to dry. The next one on my list is Raw Sienna. I put that, it's a natural earth yellow. It has a lot of movement on the paper. I just really love this. You could use yellow ochre instead of this. It's about the same color. I just like the movement of Raw Sienna a little bit better. The next color is Pyro Orange. Now I picked this color because we have a lot of orange flowers. I'm really excited about this palette. I brought in Opera Pink. Like I said, I can dull things down and I'm not too worried about it being light fast. I just want to enjoy painting flowers in my sketchbook. So that's why I have chosen the colors that I did. I'm interested to know what colors you would choose for your curated floral palette. Now I'm choosing Quinacridone Red. Quinacridone Red is a cool red. Now it is light fast. It has a better light fast rating than Opera Pink. It has a light fast rating of, it's a series 2 light fast 1. So let's look at Fringe Ultramarine. It has light fast 1. Let's look at Burnt Umber, light fast 1. So 1 is going to be the best. Let's look at Opera Pink. Opera Pink is series 1, light fast 1. So it's the same as Quinacridone Red. Oh, Quinacridone is series 2. Okay, and the next one I chose was Wisteria. I got 2 specialty colors in here. Well, 3 if you want to call the Opera Rose. Now I'm gonna leave this palette like it is. I do have a toothpick to kind of get them down in there to make them more flat. This is really thick, probably because of that titanium white. Now, the next one I have is Lavender. Okay, the next one is Cobalt Violet Deep. Kind of dried up on the top. I might have to scrape that off a little bit. Yep, it's dried up on the top. Now that can be used. I'm just gonna stick it in there. That's perfectly good paint, even though it's dried. That is really dry. I'm really having to squeeze it. It should still work. Well, look at that. I have to look and see if that's a problem. I might have to get me one of those tube crimpers. It shouldn't make a difference because I was gonna dry them down anyway, but it just makes it hard to squeeze out. I mean, really, it should be okay. You know, you don't want to have to fight with it. All right, now the next one, Pure Pite Genuine. I'm using them in a couple different centers of flowers, using this lavender and then dropping this some in the center, and it's really pretty. I think I'm gonna skip one and then go to cerulean blue, chromium. I don't think I've opened this one either, but this seems fine. See, it's squeezing out fine. I just hate that. When you spend so much money on paint, you expect it to be good, but I'm gonna give that a chance. Oh shoot, I was gonna leave that one blank. Oh well. And then here is, I put phthalo blue red shade. I put that in my list, and I'm gonna put that right here. I don't think I'll need very much, so I'm not gonna put a ton. It's highly staining, highly light fast. It is PB 15:6, and it's got a light fast rating of 1. So, you know, hey, I guess 1 is the best. French ultramarine here, but I think I'll put sap green here. I was gonna put sap green here because I think I'll need more of it for leaves and stuff. There's French ultramarine, and I can also, French ultramarine, and I can also make greens from these 2 yellows with French ultramarine. Now in this big one, I'm gonna put sap green for leaves, and I can also mix with other colors to make them lighter or darker. Sap green, I think that's an important color. I'm very excited. I'm starting to see little flowers come up and about. We're having some warmer days, 60s and 70s, and they're just very anxious to get out of the ground. Next one, I'm gonna put Green Apatite Genuine. I think that's a color I use all the time. And I can mix yellow with it to make it lighter. It's an all-purpose, like, for me, and it's a Primatech color, so there is granulation in it, and it provides a real natural look. So I really like that. You know, it has brown bits falling to the paper. To me, that's just very natural looking. So I enjoy Green Apatite Genuine in the Primatech line. Okay, now we have Burnt Umber, and I think this one is really important to mix with French ultramarine for a good dark, or you can mix it with phthalo blue for a good dark. Burnt Umber, very, very standard. I got one thing left. Now I can either put Purpite Genuine there or Lunar Black. I think I'll put Purpite Genuine because I can always get a little half pan and put some Lunar Black in there. So I'm gonna put Purpite Genuine, and I love Primatech colors. I know that some people don't, but I do. Purpite Genuine. And I can make this darker by adding a little green. This Lunar Black is good for shadows and then letting pigment shine through. So there it is. There is my spring palette. Hansa Yellow Medium, Raw Sienna, Pyro Orange, Quinacridone Red, or no, Opera Pink, Quinacridone Red, Wisteria, Lavender, Cobalt Violet Deep, which we had trouble with, Cerulean Blue, French Ultramarine Blue, Phthalo Blue, or vice versa, Sap Green, Green Apatite Genuine, Burnt Umber, and Purpite Genuine. Now we're going to make a swatch card for it, and we're going to put it in our color diary. Okay, so I have my palette over here. I have my Princeton number 4 brush. I have my painter's color diary, watercolor in travel size. I have water, my paint, my brush, and I got some paper towel here. So I am going to start, and I'm going to zoom in. I am just going to start in and there's there's that. It's a beautiful, beautiful neutral yellow that I can do many mixes with or use on its own. The next one is raw sienna. I chose that as a more natural yellow because it flows. You can just see it take off. And then next I have Pyro Orange. Pyro Orange, I'll do a mass tone here. Rinse my brush. I'm not going to do salt with these. That has a lot of movement too. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful colors. Okay, I'm going to move that over a little bit. And now I have Opera Pink. Nice, bright. These are just starting to dry out. So, Opera Pink, almost fluorescent. A lot of movement. I love Daniel Smith paints. These are all Daniel Smith paints. They're not any other brand. I prefer them. I have other paints. I wanted this to be all Daniel Smith. Now we have Quinn Red, and this is a neutral red. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? That's just a really nice red, neutral. You don't have to use this color. You could use Pyro Red, Pyro Scarlet. You could even go like magenta or something like that. So now I have Wisteria, and this is kind of a, well, a wisteria color. I really enjoy it. It's a convenience color. If you had white on your palette, you could mix that with magenta or a dioxazine purple. Now that one doesn't move as much. It's a little bit more just stand on it on its own. It did move, but not as much. I have lavender. It leans a little bit bluer, where the wisteria leans a little bit more pink. And like the other, it doesn't move quite as much. It just kind of stays where it is. Cobalt Violet Deep. This is the one that I had trouble getting out of the tube. But it comes off okay. It picks up okay. So now we've got Cerulean Blue Chromium. These are good for skies. Could be good for flowers as well. But I wanted to have a sky color here. Moves really well. Next we have Phthalo Blue Red shade. Now I wanted to do this because it's a really good mixer. It's a little bit more staining, but it's really intense. Look how that moves. Really pretty blue. French Ultramarine. French Ultramarine. It's a granulating color. It leans a little bit the red side, but I think this Phthalo Blue Red shade will make better turquoise than French Ultramarine Blue if I want to mix. Pretty. It leans a little bit more purpley than Phthalo Blue Red shade. Sap Green. There it is. It's mass tone. Got a little bit too much on my brush because they're still wet. And that is just a really pretty, you can even get it to a spring green. Pretty. Sap Green. Convenience color. Green Appetite Genuine. And I like this one because it has granulation. It's a little bit more foresty, but if you add yellow to it, you can get it more springy. Also, it leaves brown bits in the paper, which I think it looks really natural. as leaves. And that's why I like Green Apatite Genuine. Then I have Burnt Umber. Burnt Umber. This is a good mixer to make darks. And then I have Purpite Genuine. I butcher these names sometimes. And this is kind of a natural purple color with granulation. I did some centers of some flowers and I dropped this in the center and it was just really pretty. So that's why I wanted to include that on my Spring Floral Daniel Smith palette. This is my palette, guys. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I've forgotten anything. So here is the completed version of my Floral 2023 Spring palette that I created, created one, however you want to say it. You know, I have all my paints in there. They're all dry and they've been drying for a couple days. I did squeeze a little bit of Lunar Black out right here. And I was swatching a little bit and did notice that that phthalo blue stained my palette. That doesn't bother me, but you could take a magic eraser and get that off if you wanted to. So here's my swatch, my Painter's Color Diary travel. Gosh, I hope you enjoyed this video, and you know, let me know in the comments below if you choose different colors or have any ideas. I think, you know, if you wanted to, you could just pop these out and add a different color. So I might do that in the future. So let me know. Talk to you later. Have a great spring. See you out on the trail. Bye.